Hi everyone, welcome to Skill Masters. Hope you are doing well. And in today's video is about beginners tutorial on MS Excel. Okay, uh, so in this video I'll talk about layout of an Excel worksheet or and how you can edit data in Excel, how you can format, how you can add formulas or function to calculations in Excel. Uh, at the end, we'll use charts to visually represent the data, okay, and write insights from those charts. So let's start. When you open a new Excel workbook, this is how it looks. Excel will give you a lot of templates that you can choose from depending on your needs. But for this video, I'll just choose a blank workbook. As soon as I clicked it, blank workbook opens. Now let's talk about the layout of an Excel worksheet. Okay, we'll go from the top. On the top, if you see, these are called tabs. It is home, insert, page layout, formulas, data. All these are called tabs. And below the tabs, this entire stretch is called a ribbon. Okay. So you'll see a lot of options and buttons in the ribbon. Okay. And these options will change according to the tabs which you have selected. For example, I've selected the home tab and you'll see buttons related to formatting. Okay. Formatting such as you can edit the font size or font color, you can change the alignment, you can format numbers. So you get all these options under the home tab. Same way, under the insert tab, you see options to insert a chart, shapes, or a picture into your worksheet. Okay. And on the third, under the page layout tab, you'll see options that you can use to change the orientation of your worksheet. You can edit the margin setting, you can add a page breaker. This is basically to change the layout of your worksheet. Okay. Same way, under formulas, you'll see all kinds of functions such as logical, text, date, time. Formulas related to these categories. Okay. Same way, you have data tab and review tab and view. All these options are there in your worksheet. Okay. And below the ribbon, you have two boxes. One is a name box, the other one is a formula bar. Okay. The name box will give you the location of the cell which you have selected. For example, I've selected this cell. It says E6. It means that the cell is in E row, E column and 6th row. Okay. Like in Excel, these are called columns, and it is named in alphabets. And these are rows, and it is named as numbers. Okay. When I select this, for example, when I select this D column, name of the column, this entire column gets selected. The same way, if I select any row number, that particular entire row gets selected. And if I select a group of cells, it's called a range. Okay. So these are the terminologies that you need to remember when you're starting with Excel. So the next one is the formula bar. Formula bar used to display the formula, the cell. For example, let me just write here. Let's say I'll write 12 plus 12. Okay. Just 24. When I select the cell, when I look here, it only says 24. I can't able to see the formula. But when I look here in the formula bar, I can see the formula which is actually written in this cell to get this answer. Okay. So in that way, you can use this formula bar to view the formula. You can even expand it by clicking this down arrow mark, and you can change it back by clicking it again. Okay, let's delete this. And bottom, if you see, you have sheet 1. It means that this is a Excel worksheet. This file is called a workbook. The sheet 1 is called the Excel worksheet. You can add n number of sheets in your workbook. To add a new sheet, all you need to do is select this plus sign. You'll get sheet 2. If you want another sheet, you can select it again. You'll get sheet 3. And whichever sheet you want to open, you can do it by clicking the sheet name, and that particular sheet will open. We can also rename this sheet. Okay, we'll rename it as sales tracker. Okay, and if you see on the right hand side bottom, you will see the zoom bar. This is used to zoom in or zoom out your worksheet. If you want to zoom in, you can click this plus sign. It will zoom in, and if you want to zoom out, you can click this. Okay, and Excel also gives you 2 scroll bars, one in the vertical, the other one in the horizontal. This is used to navigate your worksheet. Okay, so that's about it. This is a basic layout of an Excel worksheet. Okay, and in this video, we're actually going to help DVD store called Stewart DVD Store to improve their business using Excel. Okay, Stewart DVD Store, it's a made-up store for this video. Okay, so what we're going to do is we have a data of for 20 days. We're going to help Stewart first to set up a sales tracker so that he can enter the daily sales transaction in the tracker and he can maintain it. And we will do some calculations, and we'll use charts to visualize the data. And from the charts, we'll derive some business insights to help Stewart to improve his business. Okay, so that is what we're going to do in this video. So let's start. First, enter the data. We'll keep the title as Stewart's DVD Store. Write it as sales tracker. Sales tracker is the title. And for sales tracker, we need data such as, we'll start with the date. We'll go for customer name. Then it is a DVD store, so we'll write how many DVDs they bought. Okay, so number of DVD, and when you say DVD, there are movies are categorized under genre, say action, comedy, or romance. So we need a column to know what genre it is, and then how much money has made from the transaction. Okay, to write it as sales amount. Okay, for example, we'll start from 1st August. 1st August, and the customer name will be Ben. He bought 2 DVDs under action genre. Say one DVD cost you around $30. As you can see, I've entered the data for 20 days, that is from August 1st to August 20th. Now when I look at this, I have the data in Excel, but it is not so presentable. Okay, and so we'll start with how you can format this into a well presentable manner. So we'll start with the title. So you can see Stewart's DVD Store Sales Tracker. This is the title of the tracker. We can highlight it so that it looks good. First, we'll start with the font size by increasing it. You can increase it by clicking this button, or if you know a standard size that you want to select, you can select it from this. Excel actually gives you a preview of the background. When I hover my cursor, you can actually see the title gets changed. I'll select 16, okay, and I'll make the text bold to highlight it better. Then I'll just add a background color. let's say I'll add a color pink. Okay. Now what we can do is we can merge all these cells together into a single cell from A to E. I can do that by selecting the merge and center icon. As soon as I click this, you saw 5 cells has become into a one single cell, and the title has actually came in the center alignment. If you want, you can actually change the alignment of this title. If you want it to be left aligned, you can select, or if you want it to be right aligned, you can do that, but we'll just keep it in the middle because it looks good. You can use these buttons to change the alignment of the text. Okay. Next, coming back to the column heading. As you can see, there are certain headings which are not completely visible because the column width is let's say because the column width and the length of the text does not match. Okay, because the length of the text is too long than the column width, hence only it is visible partially. To increase the width, you can do it by simply double clicking here. Means you need to get the cursor between two columns. As you can see, the cursor will change. When you double click, the column width will change according to the length of the text in it. Okay. You can do that to every single column, or there is a shortcut to do it once so that all the columns gets changed. To do that, you need to select the entire worksheet, then go between any two columns and double click. As you can see, all the columns has been changed. All the column width has been changed. Now let's say it looks good, but I'm not happy with the font size. Okay, because it's too small, we can't able to view it much properly. So we'll make the font size as, say, we'll do it 12, please, or we can do it 14. 14 is too big, we'll stick to 12. 12 looks good. Okay. Now again, since we increase the font size, it is not matching the column width. We'll change the column width once again. Okay, it is changed. Now what we can do is we can highlight the column heading to get a better visibility. Highlighted it. Now it looks good. It would be better if you could add a border around the cell so that it actually looks kind of a table. To do that, you need to use this option. As you can see, there is a downward arrow mark. Once you click it, you will see a lot of options that Excel gives you. Such as if you want to have a border at the bottom, you can do that. Only on the top, you can. If you want to add, you can do that. But for this, we'll actually use all borders. Okay, because I want to add borders to all the cells. To do that, what I'll do is first I'll select all the cells that I want to add the border. I'll click this down arrow mark. I'll click all borders. Okay. Now if you see, it looks much more presentable. Now the last thing what we need to do is, as you can see, the last column, that is sales amount. This is actually $60, $30. It should be in the currency format, and there should be a dollar sign before that. You can add the dollar sign by using this icon, and before that we'll select what are the cells that you want to add the dollar sign, and you can select this down arrow mark. Excel by default gives you the most used dollar symbols here. Let's say we'll select United States dollars, but if you want pound, you can do it. If you want euro, there is options. Okay, we'll select dollars. Okay, and as you can see, as soon as I click the dollars, you see the dollar sign in front of the amount. Okay, but as you can see, there is it has changed to 2 decimal places. Since everything is a round off amount, we actually no need this decimal places to be there. We can change that by using this particular icon to decrease decimals. I want to decrease it by 2 decimals, so I'll click twice. See, now it's gone. Now it's a round off amount. So that is about formatting this data. We've done basic formatting. Now next we'll move on to how you can add do calculations with the help of functions or formulas. Okay. Before that, let me tell you how you can make the calculations dynamic. Okay. Example, I have 45, 55. Okay. If I want to count these two, I can simply do it by typing, by adding up, equal to 55 plus 45. I've just entered these two values to sum up. I press enter, it comes 100. 100 is the right answer. Okay. But what if this 55 has changed to 60? When I do that, it is supposed to be 105, but it is 100. Because the result is not dynamic. Okay. To do that, what we can do is fix this. Let's say 45 plus 6, write 55. Okay. Instead of writing the actual numbers, I'll write the cell names. Okay, equal to M5 plus M4. I press enter, the result comes as 100, which is right. Now in the same way, if I change this 55 to 60, let's see what happens. I press enter, the result also changed, 105. Because here the result is dynamic. It means that if the input value is changed, the result will change accordingly. Okay. In that way, you don't have to worry about your results. If there's a chance that you're changing the data, or if you have entered a wrong data and you want to correct it later, you can do all sorts of things, but the result will be, but you'll always get the right results because the result is dynamic. Okay, so let's delete this. What is the total DVDs sold? Okay, and let's say what is the total sales? We'll see. What is the average sale per day? Average sale per day. Okay. Now we're going to use Excel functions to find these 3 results. Okay. Now let's just increase this column a little bit. We can change the fonts shape to probably 14. We don't want it bold. Just add a border. Okay. Now we'll start with the functions. Total DVDs sold. To get this, we actually need to count all these values, that is from C4 to C23. Okay, so to do that, Excel actually gives you inbuilt functions. If you see here, if you press this down arrow mark, it actually gives you inbuilt functions such as sum, average, minimum, max. Okay, these are mostly used functions. Okay, so we want the sum. So what we do is we'll click this sum, as you can see. Okay, now we need to select the cells which you want to calculate. You can use your arrow key to move the cursor, press shift and select all the cells from C4 to C23. Excel will display you what is the range of cells that you have selected, that is C4 to C23. After that, click enter. Okay. So total number of DVDs sold is 49. Okay, 49. Say that Stuart has actually made a mistake, that Mr. Ben has actually bought 3 DVDs on 1st of August, but by mistake he has mentioned it as 2. Let's say we'll mention it as 3. You press enter, this 49 has actually become 50. Okay, so we'll change the sale amount as well to 50. Now we'll see what is the total sales. We can do the same thing. Okay, we can click the sum function, and we'll use our arrow key to move the cursor, or you can actually use it with your mouse. We'll select it, click, and drag the cells that you want to calculate, that is E4 to E23, and press enter. So the total is $1,500. Okay. What happens is, since all the cells that we selected is formatted to have the US dollars, even the result also comes in the same way. Okay. The third one is, we'll find the average sales per day. To do that, we have to find the average of this from 1st of August to 20th August. Okay. To do that, you can use the average function. Go here, click the down arrow mark, click average, then you can select this. Select and click enter. On an average, Stewart has made around $75 per day. Okay, so we have actually found the total number of DVDs sold, what's the total sales amount, and what is the average sale per day. These three things we have done. We have found out using Excel functions. And there is one more thing. As you can see here, there is an option called Format Painter. This is actually used to copy the formatting options from one cell to another cell. Okay. So example here, if you see, I've changed the font style to 12 and I made it bold. Okay, I made it bold. If I want to have the same formatting here, what I can do is I can click here, change the format to 12, and then click bold. It's kind of like two steps. Okay, I can easily do it by clicking, selecting the cells which I want to copy the formatting options, and click the Format Painter. And as you see, my cursor is changed with a brush. Then I need to select the cell which I want to format. As soon as I click this, it is changed. Now if you see, it is bold and the text font size is 12. In that way, it is actually easy. For example, let us highlight this cell. Alright. Now if you see, we'll increase the text 14. Now if you see that the font size is 14, it is bold, and it is a background color with a background color. There are three formatting settings we have done. Okay, we can actually copy this. One more thing, Excel has actually removed the dollar sign because this 50 doesn't have a dollar currency format. Hence, when we copy it, it is removed. We can add it again. But these are the things you should actually think before you copy the formatting options from one cell to another cell, because Excel will completely override the existing formatting with the one which you try to copy. So United States, I've added the dollar sign. Okay, so we have actually made a sales tracker, and we have done some calculations in it. Now let's use charts to get some insights. Okay, so what we can do is we can do a day-wise sales trend. To do that, let us select the date, press Control, select the sales amount, go to insert. You can select which chart you want, or else you can ask Excel for recommendation. When I press it, it actually first it gives me a line chart. Actually, line chart is better to analyze trends, so we'll go with this. We'll click OK. As you can see, Excel has given a line chart 1st of August it was high, 2nd of August it was low, 2nd and 3rd, then again 4th it was high, 5th, 4th and 5th at the same sale, then it was high. So you can see the trend for the 20 days how his sales was. Okay. He was actually down on 2nd and 3rd, 8th and 9th, 14th and 15th. Okay. He was low and he was highest on these days, 8, 10, 12 and 17th of August the sale was high. Okay. So by looking at this chart we can actually see his sales trend. Now next what we can do is we can find how much sale he has made by selling which genre. Okay, to do that same way we'll select the options, I'll select the genre, press Control, I'll select the amount, then I'll go to insert, last insert recommendation. Excel has given me a simple clustered column chart. I think this looks good. We'll click OK. Now if you see what happens is, I'll tell you, if you see the sales tracker, see we have 5 kinds of genre. Okay, that is action, adventure, comedy, horror and romance. Okay, if you see all these are repeated again and again. Okay, so what Excel has done is Excel has actually summarized this data. If you see here, it has actually summarized the data. That is action, it says 360. When you look at the sales tracker, when you calculate, there is a 90, 120, 60, 90. If we see this, 360 is the summarized total. I'll highlight it so that you understand. 360 is the highlighted total. It's here. It has actually summarized the data, and from this, it has extracted the value to make this chart. That way, we don't see any repeated categories. All we see is a summarized result. Okay, we'll cut this and we'll paste it next to the line chart. Close this pivot option. As you can see, he made more money by selling adventure movies, and the second one is action and romance are like somewhat similar, but horror movies are the least. Okay, he made only 210 dollars by that, but actually he made $390 by selling adventure movies. So he can actually do a promotion about horror movies to increase this particular genre sale. Okay, so so what Stuart can do is he can use these insights to improve his business, and we have done all this using MS Excel. Okay, so MS Excel, it's a powerful tool, and this is just a small example to make you understand what is Excel and how you can use things. So hope you all enjoyed this video. If you do enjoyed it, please hit the like button and please do share it with your friends, and I'll just see you all in the next video with another content. Thanks.